Hello, good morning. Happy Monday, happy morning, moaning morning. We're doing the morning pages here as we always do. We do shorter morning pages for a reason. We do it to build a habit and we do it to generate compassion for ourselves. Um, it's all very well doing your 3 pages, but sometimes we need a bit of wiggle room because a lot of us get on the artist's way. We start the artist's way and we drop out because it's overwhelming and it's a lot of work. It's very productive. It's super productive, in fact, which is something that we'll talk about this morning a little bit. It's so productive that it can be really, really overwhelming. So for that reason, I try to find a little bit of an in between place where we can still practice our morning pages and still get out the gunk, still clear out enough of the, heartache or past or trauma or whatever happens to be going on. Laundry list, um, things to remember. Oh, you know, bitching and complaining and whining. That's what pages are great for. And 10 minutes of that can go an awful long way. It can make an awful lot of space and it can make an awful lot of permission for us, and kind of say, I don't really have the time or the willingness or maybe the capability to go to 3 pages, but I'll see what I have in 10 minutes. And often in 10 minutes, we get to a page and a half. But more than that, we get the courage to know that it's okay to write and it's okay to let these things out. It's okay to let these things out. So that's kind of what we do. Um, and we do it Monday to Thursday. And what I find is that it's just allowing us then on a Friday go to a bit longer. On a Friday, we do 45 minutes and we aim for the 3 pages. And often, because we're looking at time and we're not necessarily measuring the number of pages that we're doing, we actually get way past 3 pages. And we see that, yeah, 3 pages is kind of magic in lots of ways, but it's not the be all and end all. And the sky doesn't fall in if we go over 3 pages. And similarly, the sky doesn't fall in if we don't go to 3 pages. Does that make sense? So when you're on the artist's way, as I say, we tend to talk a lot about change. And Julia Cameron's called the Queen of Creative Change, Queen of Change, I suppose. And what she does is she teaches us creative recovery through her book, The Artist's Way, which is a 12 chapters, 12-part recovery program that you would do either solo or in a group. It's so much easier in a group. Solo, just not even the workload, but the aloneness and the solitude is quite hard to take, and the accountability of having to be in group, let's say Sunday morning or Friday evening or whatever. It kind of forces us to look at some difficult things and to learn about compassion or autonomy or strength. What's my strength these days? So, hi, Mandakini. I'll get there. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you had a great weekend. It was lovely to talk to you last week. What I'm finding is that more and more people, yes, we're doing the lives and everything else, but more and more people are either coming to me with questions that are quite they need questions back from me. So we need a dialogue basically. So if you would like a little chat with someone who knows the artist way quite well and who works as a creative full time. Well, I say full time. I'm also raising a family and doing the usual things. Hit me up. I have another lass. We're talking again tomorrow, and it's just nice to kind of find people who are like us. And have open conversations about this kind of thing, and it can be a struggle over time management, or it can be a struggle over a particular block. And because I've been practicing the artist's way for 10 odd years, teaching it for 4, teaching it, facilitating it, running creative clusters for 4. I've seen, a lot. I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, and I'm certainly not an art therapist or a guru or anything, but I speak in everyday ways, and I try to treat people with respect, and treat myself with respect, and my inner child and my inner creative, which is so vital, So, yeah, what I wanted to talk about this morning was, Manakini says it's great to have the group. Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about this morning was the notion of productivity. And when we're on the artist's way, the level of productivity can go right up. Okay. When I talk about productivity, I'm not necessarily talking about things that we can see or goals that we're achieving along the artist's way. I'm more talking about the changes that are happening within us as we read the book, as we do our pages making space for things to come out of us, our pages clearing out the pipes within us so that we can connect to who we are and figure out, what am I now? Who am I now? What am I wanting at the moment, So uh, the pages do that, the chapters also do that, but there's change happening within us as well. And Julia describes it as imperceptible change that's happening at a rapid speed. So, because we're in the eye of the storm, we don't necessarily feel it. And anyway, I saw something this morning that helped me tremendously. I was out on a walk, and it's quite windy here in Ireland at the moment, and birds are on the move. And I was looking up, and I saw this single bird on his own, her own, and the feathers just looked. It just caught my eye. They looked a bit unusual, and I'm always on the lookout for some kind of weird, unusual bird. Not that we get many in Ireland, but um, this one bird, I looked up, and I realised that her wings were fluttering, and she was moving a little bit as well. She was moving her wings up and down. But the bird herself was in the same location. She was in the same position. She wasn't managing to make any progress into the wind, nor was she being blown back. She was being kept in place. She was in situ. And I thought to myself, oh, that bird's going nowhere. Was she going nowhere? She could have been going nowhere. Maybe she was on the way to some place. But it also struck me that she's being held in place, and she's keeping a position. She's holding a position. And that can be quite nice for us. That can be quite nice to just hold position and let the wind blow around us, and know that we're okay in this moment. Things are okay. I'm not going back. I'm not going forward. I'm just holding position. I'm staying put. It struck me as well that maybe the bird was doing it for the fun, for the crack, because it just looked so relaxed up there, like she was, having a lovely time and getting blown, and she wasn't, upset or anything. Her wings were quite stable, and um, from there I could see the beautiful patterns on her feathers, and it struck me, she's having the time of her life. She's just closing her eyes and relaxing into the wind, all the while being admired and being watched by someone from afar, someone who could never do that, what she's doing. Someone who could never do what she's doing. I can never fly like she can. And it struck me that she was probably living her best life. I don't even know what kind of bird it was. Maybe a seagull, maybe a crow. I don't know. It was kind of light feathered colors. So Manakini says it's windy here too. Yeah, signs and wonders. Yeah, Mandakini, it's absolutely true. She was riding a thermal, and she was being carried. Yeah, that's a lovely way of putting it, Mandakini, because honestly, sometimes we're on the artist's way, and it just feels like we're being pummeled. It feels like we are being pushed and pulled by life when we just want to go on this way. We just want to um, discover other parts of life, and it can feel like we're being absolutely bashed by the biggest storm when we're on the artist's way. But for 10 minutes today, we slow down and we tune in, and we feel the wind under our wings a little bit, and we get deep into this process. We get deep into the process of um, holding position and checking in with ourselves. That's all this is. It's just a check-in, you know? Ah, thanks, Mandakini. I did fly and live the moment. Ah, Tiffany, good morning. Hi, how are you? Great to see you. We're talking about holding position as opposed to staying still, going nowhere. Going nowhere is it's uh it's a handy and convenient accusation that can be used against us by our own little judge, our own big judge sometimes, and the people around us. Let's say if we speak to someone about our creativity, oh, I'm writing a book, oh, I'm thinking about going to this play here, or I'm thinking of writing a play, whatever it happens to be. Sometimes the response that comes back from the people around us is the notion that we'll never do it, we'll never manage it, um, that we haven't managed in the past, we haven't managed to do or achieve any of the goals that we've set ourselves in the past that we might have announced to them. So that can be hard. So it's always good to protect who hears about our creative pursuits. It's always really, really um, a good thing just to pick and choose who hears about your dreams and your plans. They'll like it when you have finished the novel. They'll like it when the novel is on the shelf. They'll like it better then. You can tell them then. That's my approach anyway. So I tend to not tell them until it's done, until it's up on the shelf, on the wall. There you go now. There you go. You happy now? Because they don't want to hear about the messy middle. They don't want to hear about the fears and the staying still and the mess and the so just be careful who you tell, I suppose. All right. How would you make the choice of confidants or well wishers? God, that's a really good question. I generally spoke to the pages first, Mandakini. I generally asked the pages first, who can I trust? Or rather, I would have a dialogue with the pages myself, going, this is not working out with this person. Why are they so X? Why are they so Y? Why are they not supporting me, or why are they in so much conflict with me? And over time, it became clear that, oh, they're not the people. They're not the people I can trust with this particular knowledge. They're not my tribe. So I would have used the pages an awful lot to figure stuff out, to make decisions on every part of life, but especially on the creative journey, especially on the creative journey. I would have asked a lot, asked of myself, you know, um, because in the early days I would have only had myself. I wouldn't have had much of a relationship with a higher power, so to speak. So I would have just been asking myself, been asking my inner creative or whatever, and getting in tune with that voice. So that's kind of where I am. Guys, oh, we've got Eva as well. Hiya, Eva. How are you? We're going to start our pages. All right. Now and then people go beyond the 10 minutes, and that's okay. I just want to let you know that this 10 minutes, you can either see it as a 10 minutes just to make the connection with yourself and to engage with yourself and get out some of the gunk, or you can see it as a jumping off point. If you wish to go to 20 minutes or a half an hour, go and do that. At the end, we don't really talk. We do 3 deep breaths and that's it. We do stop to do a review though. Okay. So if you want to go off, it just depends on your time, how things are going for you. But don't feel obliged. Okay. That's really, really important that you do not feel that you have to keep going past the 10 minutes. On the contrary, it's really important that if you feel that pull, that I should do 3 pages. I should listen out for that word. If you should do 3 pages, then slowly back away from the paper because we're trying to build a sense of autonomy here. We're trying to build a sense of trust in ourselves and our best judgment, because our ego will always want the big and the shiny. It'll always want the thing on the shelf. It'll always want the glory. It'll always want the smug. Okay? It'll always want that. Alas. Alas, you ego. You ready? Get your paper, get your pen, and let's start, okay? And go. There we go. That's it. Yeah, 10 minutes. It flies, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to do 1 minute of a review. Okay. Stick with the same thing or change color. Oh, well, I don't have another color, so I'm just going to have to do it. You ready for your review? And go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, it is really hard, isn't it? It's really hard just walking away from that. It's really hard. But so much came out. I was laughing to myself there because the conversation I had with resistance. Okay, I'm just going to say it. You know, Stephen Pressfield, and it comes out in The War of Art, which Santa's bringing to me, by the way. Santa is good like that. Resistance kind of came into my radar very, very heavily over the weekend and nearly threatened my. It was not good. And I got to take a step back. And I was like, I know you. You're resistance. I know you. Yeah. So we had a bit of a chat this morning. Let's do our 3 deep breaths and we will see you again tomorrow. I'm going to let you go and just sit in the smugness of having done your pages. And well done you and well done me. We are killing this, you know. All right. In for 4, hold for 4 and out for 4. And again. On this next exhale, we're going to make it audible. And out. Audibility helps us develop our voice. That is why we do it. Okay? Develop that voice. Make it sound like a cow. Oink, like a pig. Whatever you want. Okay? This is your time. This is your voice. Get it out. Get it out. See you again tomorrow, my friends. All the best. Bye. Bye.